Hi, I'm Ann Pearl, your host for Capital Region today, and I'm so happy that you're joining us today. We have a great lineup, lots of great information for you, and you're going to find out where you can go and maybe kind of get over this pandemic a little bit. We're going to be talking, first of all, with to Proctors Collaborative, and after that we'll be talking to the Universal Preservation Hall up in Saratoga. Then from there we're going to be talking about Art Week, which is going on in Schenectady, and find out what they're doing to make art a little bit more accessible to all of us. And then we're going to go to House Cave and talk about the Iroquois Indian Museum and their fabulous exhibit and their summer events coming up. Then we're going to be talking to a director and an actor about Death Tax. What a name that is, but it's a premiere in our area, and that'll be over in Albany. And then we're going to be talking about the wonderful Juneteenth celebration, which will be coming up on June 19th. And we'll find out about there's 2 days, and they'll be having a couple of things going on. And then, of course, the fabulous Habitat for Humanity. They do so many good things, but they're having a big fundraiser coming up, the Jamboree. We'll be talking about that as well. But I'm going to start right out with our first guest. We have Jean Leonard here. Jean is with the Proctors Collaborative, and she's the person that knows exactly what's going on. Right, Jean?
Yes.
You hope.
Yes, that's
okay,
the goal.
Tell me what's going on, because you've got so many events. Some are virtual. How many in person? You got a big production coming up in December. What's going on?
There's a lot going on.
I know.
And you just really described the stage we're in right now, which is still working on virtual programming as the High School Musical Theater Awards just a couple weeks ago.
They just had theirs. Now you're going to go national, right, to the national?
So the winners, the two winners, are now going to go to the National Jimmy Awards,
Yep.
which is the National High School Musical Theater Award.
Isn't
but
that
too
wonderful?
will be virtual.
Isn't it wonderful to cheer on these kids?
It really is, and
Yeah.
they're so excited, Ann.
Yeah.
They are so excited. So and that's virtual. So the world is in this crossover place where we're starting to tip our toe into in-person live things.
Right.
But
we're all vaccinated, so we're good.
Absolutely, absolutely. But we also have the virtual pieces still going on. So there's a lot of virtual work. Next week, Capitol Repertory Theater is presenting Next Act, the new play festival,
yeah.
and that will all be virtual. And the wonderful thing about those kinds of things being virtual is that we have access to a world's worth of actors and directors.
I think that's what we found out, that we can expand. And we also have Teddy Foster here, and she's with the Universal Preservation Hall up in Saratoga, which is part of the collaborative.
Yes. Yep.
So that's why we're all here together at the same table. So you've got big plans too up in your area.
We do.
Yeah. And how do you work with Jean here? Jean is kind of the chief of staff, and you do
Yeah,
you get all
so
the balls in the air, right?
We do. We have balls in the air in 3 buildings, right?
Yeah,
and Teddy is the one that makes sure we don't drop any up in Saratoga. So
Yeah.
we work hand in hand on the programming. Myself and Sal Prizio and
Yeah.
Teddy, we work a lot together on the best things. Again, for a while virtual, and now we're starting to talk about what kind of live music we'll put back in the hall this fall. So
Yeah.
I hope everyone will stay tuned, and you'll have us back when we're ready to talk about that stuff.
And you had
Ann.
Roseanne Cash here, didn't you?
We had Roseanne Cash on the grand opening night.
Wasn't that amazing?
It was amazing, and that was
We have a photo. I think they could bring that up just to see what the Preservation Hall looks like. I don't know if Raymond could bring that up. But we had a photo of the outside and also the inside when I believe you had the concert there it is. That's the photo that we're looking at there.
spectacular opening night, full
Yeah,
house.
and you have such a beautiful building.
Thank you.
And I believe Rich Loveridge took that photo there, if I recall.
Yes,
We'll
he
give a
did.
big shout out for
Yes.
Rich. So you're planning your events as well. Now, how do you work together? I mean, if you have an overflow at granted, we aren't doing a lot of live. If you have an overflow, do you kind of work with them or Cap Rep? I mean, so you're kind of have all these events coming and you can kind of move them if you have to? Is that how that works?
It's not as much move them if we have to as it is what space do we have that things will work best, right?
Okay.
We knew Roseanne Cash would be perfect at Universal Preservation
yeah.
Hall. right? We're not going to do Lion King at Universal
I
Preservation
don't
Hall.
think so.
But there are things that work beautifully in a theater that's meant to be in the round and primarily for music or comedy. And then there are things that work best in a proscenium theater, like
Yeah,
our main stage.
exactly.
And then there are
Or
things
the
that work best.
the Addy is smaller, yeah.
Exactly, or there are things that work best at Capitol Repertory Theater in that small, beautiful, new
The new
thrust
one, which I have not
space.
been there yet because of the,
It's pretty amazing.
I know, I heard it was amazing.
We will
Maggie
be
was on. yeah.
thrilled when we can have, we had a small donor event at Capitol Repertory Theater last week, and it was just exciting to have people in that
Yeah,
space.
I know.
It's
And
beautiful.
people are anxious to get out and do that. You're a teaser, I think. You've been teasing us because you said you got a great event coming up and it's going to be family friendly.
We do.
But you aren't talking.
We're not talking yet, but we are going to become an exhibit hall for the summer.
Okay.
And we have a spectacular, extremely interactive, family-friendly exhibit coming that'll be at UPH from July 27th until October 17th.
Okay, but you're not saying, huh?
Nope, not yet, and it'll use, here's a little tip, it's going to fill our entire building.
Wow.
So it's going
Okay.
to be
You bring a
amazing.
space capsule in or anything?
You'll just have to wait and see for the big
Doggone,
announcement.
I can't get her to talk. I mean, this woman, tell her a secret, she will never divulge it. Is that
True, that's true.
But are you giving away any secrets?
I am also not giving away any secrets, Ann.
Okay.
No, I have no secrets to give you, except to say that we're
We got
right on
Broadway
the brink.
coming. We got Broadway coming. That's good.
Yeah, no secret there. So a few weeks ago, we announced that the
Right.
Broadway season, when it will begin in December with
Donna
Summer, the
Summers,
Donna
yeah.
Summer musical. So it'll be great when we have a chance to bring people back into the main stage, and then we're off and running with all of those shows that people.
I know. I'm looking. You got the prom. You've got Dear Evan Hansen is coming again. Cats. I love Cats. My Fair Lady, To Kill a Mockingbird. That's amazing. That's a wonderful play. Mean Girls, and I have Hadestown's coming. Lion King, you're not sure when.
Correct.
And also Pretty Woman, you're not sure. But the
Right.
rest we got.
Yeah,
nailed
it has been a trip to watch the Broadway industry figure out how to get everything back up and running
But
and
they're
moving
playing
around.
it safe. They're playing it safe.
Yeah,
Vaccinations and the whole thing.
absolutely.
And it'll be
Lots of
really
rules.
interesting to see how theaters open up, right? Social distancing, maybe. Who knows? If everybody gets vaccinated, we're going to be in good shape, right?
Well, the goal is certainly to feel as comfortable as possible.
Absolutely.
But there will absolutely be protocols in place in all of our
Yeah.
spaces.
Well, you've been very safe. I mean, even here, we have people sign in the COVID and all that.
Yeah.
So we're really good. And nobody comes in here, if they haven't been vaccinated, they wear a mask. Teddy, I want to thank you so much, but you still haven't given away your
I'm
secrets.
sorry, you'll just have to stay tuned.
I'll just have to stay tuned, but thank you so much for being here
Thank you for
from
having me.
Universal Preservation Hall. Beautiful building.
Thank
You
you.
saw the picture. Go up there, see it, and when you find out they're doing something in person, go see it.
That's right.
Right. I know you have fashion shows and things like that in the past.
We have a 150th birthday we're going to be celebrating later this year.
Great.
Of the building.
I was going to say, it's the building.
Not
I
of
don't know
Teddy.
anybody that is there.
Not yet.
But thank you so much for being
Thank
here
you.
today. And Jean, I'm going to go back to you to kind of
Okay.
talk about the things that Proctors is opening up. We are so excited to know that Broadway is coming back here.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you handle Cap Rep, Universal Preservation Hall, and Proctors. And when you look at Proctors with the Addy Theater, the main stage, the underground, I mean, you have and the GE Theater is where we are right now.
Yeah, there's a lot. We have an amazing team of people that care about these spaces and that care about the things that we bring to the community, and that's how we do it.
We love Proctors. We
Well,
love
we love
Proctors.
you,
I
so
know,
thank you for
I really
that.
love Proctors, yeah. But thank you so much for being here, Jean. We're going to just switch over, and we're going to go to downtown Schenectady and find out what they're doing. Hi, Amy.
Hi, Ann, how are
Good
you?
to have you here today to talk about Art Week. What's going on with Art Week?
A lot. It kicks off this coming Saturday, June 5th, and it runs until the following Saturday of June 12th, and we have dozens of
Are you doing
unique
stuff at the
programs.
Gateway, or where are you doing it all?
Everywhere. So we
Okay.
have Kids Art Fest is kicking off. It's going to be virtual. We'll see it again in
Well, but don't
in
forget,
person
but in September is the real,
Yes.
the real
We have a mural painting day. The community can come down, and then we're using a lot of our spaces that are here already. Create Community Studios, Electric City Art Gallery, Electric City Barn. So it's going to be highlighting all of the great local artists we have here.
And are these, are they all professional, or are they amateur, or what kind of art? Are they sculptures, are they paintings? What are we looking at?
All of it. We have writers at the open door that'll be doing some author signings. We have open studio spaces, so maybe you're an amateur artist and you want to try something new, or you're a little scared to go into that space typically because you're not sure what your talent is. That's a great time to go in there and go into Create Community Studios, go into the Electric City Barn and take an open studio class and try something new. The Clinton Street Mercantile will be participating this year. They're going to be doing a few different vendor demo nights.
Oh, nice, nice.
Which is great. And you can also meet a lot of the artists. So Electric City Art Gallery has a few different nights where you can go and you can meet those professional artists, maybe learn a thing or two, hear about the different pieces. So it'll be a great
And the arts have really suffered through the pandemic. I mean, in their own home, they haven't
Yeah.
suffered, but I mean, we haven't been out looking at art and seeing live performances, and that's part of arts as well. And so it's important to do that. And you didn't mention the folklore, and they have an exhibition there as well, which was, I just went to see it. It was like really interesting to see that.
It'll be up the whole week, and it'll be up for a few more weeks as well for people if they can't make it this week and they can go
Right,
and
yeah.
check out.
So is there a charge for any of this?
Nope. There's a few different smaller events like Canvas, Corks and Forks. They are doing their usual art events, but they're discounted during Arts Week. That's really
Okay,
the
good.
only event that will be of charge. Everything else is free, and we do have a nice mix of in-person events as well as virtual programming, just because we want to keep everyone within their comfort zone.
Okay, so when is this? I know you gave the dates, but when, I mean, is it like from 10 to 4? What are we looking
It's
at?
all day. So we have a huge calendar of events. Some events kick off as early as 10 a.m. Some of them are as late as 7 p.m. at night. And a lot of our live music and live performances, while you can go and you can attend them, whether it's on J Street or the patio at the Schenectady Trading
So you're going to have
Company.
live performances as well?
Absolutely. And we'll also be live streaming a portion of those events so that people who don't want to come out or don't feel safe coming out with a group of people can tune in and watch it at home.
Yeah, but things are opening up because Jazz on J is they'll be on with our next show.
Yeah,
But
they're
we're
kicking
gonna
off during Arts Week, which
Exactly.
we're very excited about.
And they can, I think they're going to be performing at Johnny's, and you'll be able to hear the great music, and it's all free.
It's a great space. Exactly. It's all free. We have a lot of events happening Thursday evening. It's one of the more popular nights. A lot of our businesses typically are open later that day anyway, so we have live music at 2 different venues.
And where are
both
they?
On J Street, right outside the Electric City Art Gallery.
Okay.
We'll have a classical pianist. And we have Justin Furiello, who's very well known around here, who will be performing on the patio at the Schenectady Trading Company.
Oh, good.
So-
So you've got
A very wide mix. It was really important this year to kind of hit all the art forms. So we have dance, we have writing, we have painters, we have sculptures, we have everything that you could look for here.
And it's important, I think, to support the arts. And, sometimes when you want to give a gift that is really personal.
Yeah, exactly.
Which
And
it's that. And so you got anything else coming up? I mean, we had Soup Week and we have this. Are you got any weeks like Wings or
Restaurant Week will be returning. It would typically be in the spring. We want to have a chance for outdoor dining, so you'll see that at the end of August.
Okay.
We'll be bringing back our Wing Walk event in some capacity in October, and we're looking at a new event to kick off the beginning of fall.
Is that going to be one of those secrets that you guys keep?
I can also have some secrets. Yes,
Oh,
I'm
my
keeping that
goodness.
one.
Well, I'm going to have to change my format here. We're going to have a secret corner here for secrets of what's going. But it keeps people engaged. They know what's going on, and it's important to have these events that we enrich our community.
Yeah, and we want to give a chance for all of our businesses, whether they're a store or a restaurant or an art venue, to have a chance to reach out to the community and reach out to people that typically wouldn't go in there.
Right.
So that's why we thought Arts Week was very important, because a lot of these gallery spaces, you see a lot of the same people. But art's for everyone. It's for all different people who have different talents. Maybe you don't think you're talented, but you can discover some type of art form during Arts Week that you'll find.
Yeah. Are you talented?
No. Heather at Create Community Studio says we're all talented, so I try to remember that when I try to.
Yeah, I know.
I'm more of like the paint pouring type or the coloring in the lines. I'll leave
This is when
the
the
other
kids,
stuff.
you make a little hand, you
Yep,
make turkeys out of your
I can do
hands.
a turkey, absolutely. I'll leave the other stuff to the professionals or people during Arts Week.
Well, I'm really happy that she's with the Downtown Schenectady Improvement Corporation. I'll mention that again. And Jim Salengo there is the executive director, and Amy handles everything else that he doesn't handle, right? right. Whatever
try.
he isn't doing, you're doing. I know you've got down by you've got the Frog Alley. There's just so many
Yeah.
things going on, and they bring in music as well. So, come to downtown Schenectady because
Exactly.
there's so much going on, and I love the new Gateway Park that
It's
is
beautiful.
all set up there, and I know there's a lot of events there as well.
Yep, and we'll have more events planned. We have an event during Arts Week there for a gallery exhibit, and you'll see there's new community banners that were put up last summer. so
Yeah,
it's
I
a
knew
great
that
thing.
those were going up.
And
yeah.
then a big thing we're excited about for this Arts Week is we have our Art to Go kit. So at 5 different locations, you can go in, pick up a kit, it'll have everything you need.
That's part
to
of the
complete
Kids Art
project.
Festival, too.
It's during Arts Week. the
During
whole
Arts Week, okay.
Yep, so it'll have the directions, it'll have all the materials you'll need, pick
Oh,
it
how
up,
cool.
go to home, and each location has a different project, so we want you to
Okay.
stop in
I'm
everywhere.
going to give you a hint. Take a bag home.
I'll work on it at home and then secretly pretend that's.
Working it at home. Who knows, you may be a budding artist and don't even know that. But Amy Sonder, I'm so glad to have you on
Thank
the
you for
show and to
having
talk
me.
about Art Week. And please say hi to Jim because you guys do a wonderful job down there on State Street.
Thank you very
And keep up the good work. And
Thank
all
you.
those events keep us energized.
Yeah, we're back for in
Yeah.
person, so we're really excited.
Yeah. We're going to switch right over and go over to House Cave, and that's where the Iroquois Indian Museum is. How wonderful. And I've been there, and I love your museum.
Well, thank you, and we're really happy that we're able to open back up again, and we're fully operational, and events planned, and a great exhibit that we opened with in April, so it's nice to be back.
Right, and you brought Cassandra Miller with you as well. So Cassandra, it's really good to have you here in the show as well. What I noticed that when I first got the information, I saw the identity, but that's not going to be until fall, right, that exhibit?
It will, it opened in April, will run through
Oh, it's
November.
still up there. I
Yes,
wasn't
yes.
sure whether it was up or it was going to be opening, because I got mixed messages when I looked at it.
Well, it was actually our 2020 exhibit, which we held
Oh, that's
over,
where I got the
yes.
October. Okay.
And we are going to have a reception for the exhibit in October. We normally have an opening reception in the spring, but because things were sort of uncertain, we thought, well, we'll move it up to October. So on Columbus Day weekend, which is Native American weekend in
Yes.
many places, we will have the reception for the exhibit.
Indigenous Day, do they call it
It's
Indigenous Day?
Indigenous,
Peoples.
yeah, it's.
Yeah, I think they call it Indigenous Day, too. Is
Yeah, it's
that-
sort
yeah.
of changing in
Yeah,
various
there's,
places.
it morphs, is whatever. But we do want to recognize the people that were here first.
Absolutely. We always say it's New York's first inhabitants.
I,
really, are the
I
Iroquois.
know, it's like, when you hear people say, well, where did you come from? Well, I mean, they were here,
That's right,
so
that's right.
that was it. But, and what, do you do all the tribes, or do you do just the main 5, or
Well,
what is
there's
that?
actually 6, yeah.
6 or
It
6.
started, there were originally 5,
5,
which
yeah.
was the Mohawk, Oneida, Onondaga.
See, I did learn
Cayuga,
something in
and
school, but it was 5, now it's 6.
There
I
you
got
go.
it,
So
I
then
got
the
it.
Tuscarora came in the
Okay,
1700s,
good.
so yeah, so there's 6. And we concentrate on those 6 nations. We do have exhibits that include other native groups. This exhibit is basically all Iroquois artists. And
Okay.
we invited them to make a statement about their identity, because identities, there are a lot of finer points in terms of how you're considered a native person, whether you're considered a native person by the government, whether you're considered a native person by your community.
How
'cause
about
there's-
DNA?
There's blood quantum.
That
is-
works,
yeah.
right?
But really, for Native Americans, it's blood quantum. And so much of that it's different from other ethnic groups, that you're not considered a Native American unless you have this percentage blood quantum.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so,
DNA doesn't count?
not really, no.
I did not know that.
In terms of, it has to do with, like, the US government has certain rules, the Canadian government has certain rules, the Iroquois communities themselves have rules that they go by. So it's a complicated road to go in terms of if you're, say your one parent is white and one parent is Native, it depends on whether it's your mother that's Native or your father that's Native in terms of.
Is this going to be like the lineage goes through the mothers, or,
The-
yeah?
The Iroquois are matrilineal.
Okay.
But in terms of the Canadian government, they go by your father's side. So the US government goes by your mother's side. So it's a complicated issue, and it is difficult for many Native people in terms of how they identify.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's an interesting exhibit.
Yeah, I see that. And Cassandra, you've been involved with this for a while, because you've been with them.
Yes.
Working with them.
I started 2 days before the pandemic hit.
That's right. So
So I had been in the museum.
Because I've seen your
once.
name, so I know that you've been, yeah.
Yes, so this summer is really exciting because the museum's been closed since 2019. and we have no secrets. You just come.
No
We have
secrets,
so many events, and all the events are on the website. So in July and August, we have events every weekend, every Saturday, and then some Sundays. So we have Native dance groups that are coming in, we have artist demonstrations, and then we have our big Labor Day festival where we have a lot of artists coming in, a lot of performers.
And wonderful. And then they have the drummers. I love when they bring the drummers in, and you just, you know, you listen to that, and it's just, I mean, it's just like you're in a new world. Well, actually, it's the
An
old
old world,
world.
right?
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
But also, the museum is really interesting because we have the largest collection of contemporary Iroquois art in the world. And the museum is also here to show you that the Iroquois art people that kind of left hundreds of years ago, they're still here. They're still creating art, and they still have a living culture.
Right. And I mean, the foods, I mean, we talked about foods because they have the, what is it, the sisters? Something?
Three sisters,
Three
yeah, corned
sisters.
beans and squash.
Yeah. And so there's that, and then there's the weaving, and there's just so many skills that they have.
Absolutely.
That we need to keep to the forefront, to not just, you know, say, well, this is that. No, there's the whole,
There's a
Background.
really rich culture.
it's a very rich culture.
They have held on to. I mean, you know, they live just like we do, and in many ways they're very modern, but there's that tradition, the culture that they go by that is very different from many other cultures, and that's the thing that they maintain.
Exactly.
Which sets them apart in some ways, yeah.
And there's, I mean, I don't know how many tribes there are across the country. I wouldn't even want to hazard a guess. I'm sure you know, but when you look at in each tribe is a little bit different. They've got a different, you know, maybe religious or, you know, beliefs or
Yep.
whatever it is. But one of the things that I think we have to really give a big shout out is during World War II, when the Navajos.
Absolutely. And there were Mohawk code talkers as well.
There were
Yeah,
the
there
code
were-
talkers? I did
yes,
not know that.
yeah.
I always heard the Navajo,
Yeah,
but the
yeah.
Mohawks did as well.
Because, you know, with the language that nobody else understands, that was great, because it was a way to send messages back and forth, and nobody knew what they were saying.
And
so-
they couldn't crack it either.
That's right.
I know, so it's amazing. So now you have, now if someone wants to come, what would be the best day to come to the museum and see well, I mean, they can come anytime, let's face it, but something special.
Yeah, so the museum's open every day but Monday. So any day is wonderful for folks to come. And we also have Iroquois cultural interpreters at the museum, almost every Thursday and Saturday for sure, and then other days too.
Cultural interpreters.
Yeah,
Oh, I
so
love that.
We have their Iroquois who are just at the museum to talk to visitors and share their culture and answer any questions. That's Brenda and Mike. They're awesome. They've been with the museum for a really long time.
Right.
But the weekends are great times to come because we do have all of this programming that's included within the price of admission because of a grant from NISCA. So you can come on Saturday and check out the dancers or check out some artist demonstrations. And yeah, but really just come every day.
Yeah.
Get a membership.
And you have a room for kids too to kind of, or I think at one time you had the
The
downstairs.
downstairs is basically our children's museum. Right now, hands-on activities are a little
Yeah, you're a
sparse.
little limiting.
But we've created a packet that we give to kids when they come in that they can now take home with them, and it's got activity books in it, and it's got a little frame that they can make. And so
Yeah.
there's things they can actually do when they're down there and then take home with them. But we also have the turtle pond down there, which everybody loves, because we have 8 live turtles.
Yeah.
And then the nature trails. So you can always take a walk on the nature trails. That was very popular last year.
I think, and you also had a little farming thing, didn't you, at one
We
time?
have a Three Sisters garden.
Yeah,
which is
that's
out
what I
front.
thought, yeah.
Yep. And so we've planted the corn. We're trying to keep the corn away from the crows right now, but we planted the corn, beans, and squash.
You need
And
a
so-
scarecrow.
Well, we have an owl, one of those plastic owls, and we try to get our museum kitty to go out there and scare him, but he's
Yeah,
not
well,
into it.
yeah, that may not be quite as cooperative if you'd like them
That's
to
right,
be.
that's
But
right.
anyway, so this is a way to bring your kids, to bring your grandparents, bring anybody there to learn more about a culture, because the only way we really understand people is through culture.
Absolutely.
Whether it's through foods or whether, you know, what do you make and how did you, I mean, every culture has something that's really special to them. And I think what you're doing is really trying to make sure that people do understand and see what's going on. Cassandra, I want to thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And to tell us about what's coming up. And please, I'm going to come see you down there because I love that museum. So Stephanie, we're going to be, you're actually, how do you raise money for this? Because, I mean, running a museum is not the cheapest thing in the world.
Yes, it's tricky, and we have mortgages and other things to pay, too. We raise money in all sorts of ways. We write for grants, we solicit to foundations, we do have admissions, we always love new members to come in. So any way that we can come up with special events.
Do you rent out any of your space ever? I mean, because sometimes
We have.
museums do that.
Yes, we have. We have, some of the local groups. We've actually had a couple weddings there.
That's what I was going to say.
Yes.
Weddings usually would be a,
Years ago, we had a birthday party, and we've had things like our local Rotary will have their annual party
see,
there.
but right now, it's
It's hard.
it's a little bit harder, but
Yeah.
it's something that we need to look forward to because
Absolutely.
things are going to open up.
Yep.
I mean, they did in 1918.
That's right, and it's coming
So
up.
I have hopes. I have hopes that
No,
we're going
things
to
are
beat
looking up.
this, you know. So let's hope that we can get things rolling and that people will start availing themselves to the
Yes.
wonderful opportunities to learn about other cultures.
Yes, it's a great culture. It's a very rich culture, and it's really great to just be able to come meet Iroquois people and talk to them. And we've had a lot of people over the years that come back again and again, and
Yep.
they make friends, and it's when the dancers are here, we have to come and see the dancers. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, it's a great opportunity.
You do a great job, and I
Well, thank
do
you.
love your museum, and every time I go, it's like I learn a little something more, you know. You got to keep your mind open and
That's
learn,
right,
you know.
absolutely.
Stephanie, I'm so glad that you're here today
Well,
and
thank
to
you.
tell us about what's going on in House Cave, and we hope that we get some people out there to really
That's right.
see what's going on.
We're ready. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you so much. We're going to switch over to Patrick White here. Patrick is with us, and he's going to talk about death tax? What? Wait a minute. This is a premiere. That name always kind of throws me. So
Got
what
your
is that?
attention, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
Yeah, it's the Capital Region premiere of Lucas Nate's play, Death Tax. It was written in like 2015, but it's the first time it's done in the Capital Region. He's a brilliant, brilliant playwright, Obie Award-winning playwright. He wrote Doll's House Part 2, which
Oh,
Schenectady,
I saw that. That's wonderful.
Schenectady
Yeah.
Players did. Yeah, and it's we're doing it at Albany Barn, June 7th through June 16th.
And that's in person?
It is in person, yes.
And you brought your actor
I
with you?
did, Monet Thompson.
Hey, Monet, thank you for joining us. Yes.
Yes.
She slipped right in here.
Yeah, Monet is playing Nurse Tina.
Okay.
The play is June 7th through June 16th. I'm presenting it as acting class with Patrick White, just because.
Because that's your Patrick White.
Yeah. But, Governor Cuomo said, you can have indoor performances. I had classes going on. I love this play. I've used it in class for 6 years. And I emailed Casey at Albany Barn the next day, and I said, can I have the space? And she said, it's available. So we got in, and we're doing the play. We're doing it live, in person. Actors are unmasked, audience is masked, capacity of 50 people.
Okay.
Yep.
So tell me, what is death tax? I mean, I can imagine what death tax is about, but I got a nurse here too.
Yes.
So Monet, how are you doing this? What are you in there?
Well, the play is about a elderly dying woman, and I play her nurse, and she comes to believe, the elderly woman, that her nurse is actually attempting to kill her before she's
Well,
supposed
that's not
to.
very nice. You don't want to play that part.
And, it just comes to, I don't want to say too much, you go from here.
Sure. She believes that her nurse is killing her because her daughter is paying off her nurse so that she will die before the first of the year so that she can avoid the death tax.
Oh, that's where the death tax
That's
comes
where the
in.
death
I
tax
knew there had
comes
to be a
in.
connection here. I'm looking for it here.
So it brings all three other characters into life and death circumstances as far as what they value most in life and what actions they would take, some questionable, to get what they want.
Yeah. And is this a full-length play, or is this a
It's an hour and a half,
hour and a half? It's full-length. Yeah.
no intermission.
Yeah, no intermission. Oh, I love that when they're
Yeah,
going in. Because you know
yeah.
what? When there's an intermission, and I know, you got to get your snacks and beverages and things, and go to the bathroom, whatever you have to do. But the thing is, when the play goes for the entire time, you don't lose the momentum.
Yeah,
Of
it's
the
kind
play.
of relentless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like that, because sometimes you need a break to take a breather, because it's so heavy,
Yeah.
the thing.
I think it forces playwrights as well to be very diligent with what information they have in the play and very precious with what goes into the play.
Exactly.
Everything means more if your time is limited.
Exactly.
Just like in the play.
Exactly. Monet, now how long have you been acting, or do you just hang out with Patrick here with taking his classes?
I've been acting on and off for about 15 years.
Yeah.
I started out doing like community theater at SLOC.
Okay.
And then as I, got older, I've done like commercial, voiceover, stuff like that, and now I'm starting to get back into theater.
So,
Like,
and you
a
like
couple years
doing
ago.
it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
love it.
yeah. How's Patrick to work with? You don't listen, Patrick.
He's incredible.
Yeah, I know he is.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to say that, so it was okay. I could say that. Yeah.
It's truly been an honor.
So how many are in the cast?
4.
4, okay. This is a departure from Men in Boats.
Yes, it is.
That was a premiere that you did as well.
Yes, yeah, that was 3 years ago. Men on Boats was the
Was all female cast.
All
I
women.
love that.
playing men. Yes, women play women in this play.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's something different. Yeah. That was also a Capital Region premiere, and really, that's kind of what I'm into is bringing new plays, new playwrights to the Capital Region, giving people the opportunity to perform. And we have a couple of people, Dimitri Kogan and Lisa Brick, who are making their Capital Region debut as actors. So it's creating art. It's new stuff all around. New play, new playwright, new actors.
And he's a new playwright, but he said he did
Yeah.
Gal's House Part 2, right?
He did.
Yeah.
I thought I'd slip that by.
Yeah. No, me. I'm an active listener.
He's a new playwright. He hasn't won a Tony yet or a Pulitzer, but he's had one production in the Capital Region, and he deserves. He's got a body of work that's really phenomenal.
Has he done anything in off-Broadway or Broadway?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's
The absolute best show I saw in 2020 before the pandemic was a play called Dana H. His mother is a social worker, and she was kidnapped by a mental patient and held hostage and sexually enslaved for 2 years. And he had a friend of his record an interview
Oh, my
with
God.
his mother because he couldn't approach the subject himself. And the play is an actress performing the
A
play.
monologue, or?
Yes, performing a monologue, but it's his mother's voice. She is lip syncing the performance to a taped interview.
I
which is-
can't even imagine lip
Yeah.
sync. I know that this is like beyond my comprehension.
It was phenomenal. It brought into play everything about disassociation from tragic,
What a
events
brilliant writer,
and-
though, to
I'm getting
have
chills describing
to
it.
conceptualize that. And
Yeah, he had no idea when he started it. I mean, that, to ask someone even to interview his mother, but then said, why don't you tape it? And
that's how
came
it
up
all
with
came
this.
apart. Oh, my gosh, that's amazing. I know that you teach, you direct, you do it all, but tell me, if someone really wanted to get into acting, and maybe I should turn to Monet here, what is it like to take an acting class? I mean, is this like, do you say the vowels, or what do you do? Or do you pretend you're a banana? I don't know what
Yeah,
you do.
Monet, why don't you take that?
Well, we do warm-ups and, just kind of get acclimated, get used to the class. And what we focus on in this class is scene work and monologue work.
Okay.
So getting to know a scene partner, reading the play, figuring it out, and we kind of direct ourselves in that respect. So we'll get together, work on the scene, present it to the class, and then Patrick will come in, make
And
adjustments,
critique it.
make notes, and kind of just guide us in the right direction. And that culminates in a scene night at the end of the session where we put on the best version of what we've worked on.
How important, it seems to me this is important, but how important is it to understand the character? Because suppose I'm playing, say, a mental patient, okay. I can't even imagine getting into that skin. How does that happen?
Well, there's your life, your lived experience, and how that lines up with a fictional character's life. And then there's the fictional character's life, where they're from, who they are, what influences they had. But many people say the only difference between me and this fictional character is what we do in certain circumstances. So what actions you're taking would be different depending on who you are. So like when I was a student in class, and I would come up with books just filled with questions. What is my best? What is my favorite? What did I do? Who did I love? Just filled with questions. I don't necessarily answer them, but I'm just looking at everything in a fictional character's experience and how that lines up with
what your
with me.
experiences are. Okay.
Or-
And you find that works for you as well?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
yeah.
It's extremely important to understand. You don't have to agree, but understand who your character is and how, you're able to express that.
Yeah, because it's important, because you are taking on a whole new persona.
Yeah.
It's not you. I mean, and there's times when I watch even a movie, and it's like, God, I hate that character. And I'm going, wait a minute, that's just a character. It's not the actor, But you kind of start associating, if they play an evil part, you want to, you see them as evil, but they're acting, right?
Yeah,
That's all they're doing.
hopefully.
Yeah.
You never know. Silence of the Lambs, I'm still not sure about him. But anyway, Monet, thank you so much for being here, and we'll be looking for Nurse Tina in Death Tax.
Thank you.
But thank you for being here. So Patrick, one more time, when can they see this, and how do they get tickets?
Yeah, it's Monday through Wednesday night.
Okay. At the Albany Bar?
At the Albany Bar.
And where's that located?
That is 56 2nd Street in
Okay.
downtown Albany,
Okay.
Arbor Hill. It's Monday through Wednesday night, 7 p.m., 7th, 8th, 9th, and 14th, 15th, 16th. And Pay What You Will preview Sunday night.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Sunday night, 7 p.m., June 6th.
Be generous, be generous.
Yeah, no, come. If you're
Yeah.
interested, if you're hard up, whatever, yeah.
I like
come
when
see
they
the
do
play.
that. I
Yeah.
like when they do that.
I do too.
It gives an opportunity to see art where you might not normally see it.
See more plays.
Yes, and get those plays coming. Thank you, Patrick, so much. It's
Thank
always
you,
a joy to have you on the
Yeah.
show. You're so informative and make me want to get back on that stage again. So,
Great seeing
who
you.
knows? Great to see you.
Thank you.
We're going to switch over to Betty Harper. Betty, you're back
Hi,
again.
I'm
You were here a
back.
few weeks ago to talk about
It was
Juneteenth.
wonderful. Yes.
Yes.
And I just want to thank you for allowing us to be here in advance of our Juneteenth.
I know you got a
You
great lineup
allowed-
going.
Yes, you allowed us to come in and
You raised a little
and
money.
let everyone know how desperate we were for funding.
Did
and
you get a little money to come in? Yeah, good.
God is good.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
Well, you presented good. You and Mickey come on here and you tell us how to help out, and we step up to the plate, I guess.
Yes, you did.
You've got a great event coming up,
Yes, we do.
and you have vendors, and tell
We
us a little
have
bit about it.
vendors. Vendors is still open for vendors. It's actually still open for supporters also.
Okay.
And the vendors can come in until the day of, but it has to be paid in cash.
Okay.
We've had some pretty bad things going on.
I
with bad
imagine.
checks, so
Yeah.
you can come, just be ready and follow rules
Yeah.
that we have.
And you have rules
and
as
we
far
have
as
rules.
vaccinations and things like that
Yes.
as well.
Well, we are practicing social distancing, masks. You never know who is and who isn't.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, you're
but-
supposed to carry a little card, right, Mickey? You carry that little card with you to
Yeah.
show that I've been
Exactly.
vaccinated.
Yeah,
And-
I know, but it's
and Mi-
not
Mickey
all-
has joined us, Mickey Kahn.
Yeah, I would probably need a big, tall, 400-pound guy with me in order to
Enforce?
enforce that. You
Well,
never
yeah,
know.
we're not
You
going to
never
go
know.
there, but
Yeah,
anyways, but
exactly.
Mickey, thank you for joining us as well, and Mickey's coach, she's working with you as well as to get this
right.
going here.
Every year.
And first of all, I want to say, Mickey, congratulations on getting some book signings going over at the Open Door.
Thank you.
Yeah, what are your books? Let's just give you a big shout out for your books.
Oh, well, the most recent book is a republication of Integrating Del Mar.
Oh, I
The
remember
Story
that
of
one, yeah.
Friendship, which was out
Well
of,
received.
yeah, and it was written from diaries that my mother and woman who rented to us in Del Mar
Yeah.
kept. Prior to that, I brought out a book called The Story of a House, which is a children's picture book, and about an old abandoned house and how it's renewed, it has a new life.
Oh, wonderful.
Circle of Life.
And they're all
told
available
us-
at the Open
At
Door.
the Open
Yes, I
Door.
want to give you a little shout out because you are such a creative person, right? We need to
Yes.
let her do that. You've got some entertainment coming. I know we have a couple
Yes.
photos up there. I think maybe Raymond can bring those up. You have 2 acts coming up, and who are they?
Yes.
There they are. They're going to bring that photo. There it is. Who are they?
Right. So the main act is the George Boone Blues Band. who's
Okay, and that's the one on the-
well-known group here.
One on the left.
He's on the
One on the left, okay.
Yeah. They are beloved in this area.
Great. Will they be on the Music Haven stage? Okay.
Yes, yes.
And then you got, what was the other one? It was funny because the second group I thought was restored. And I
Yes.
thought, were they talking about the picture was restored, you know? So I was kind of fumbling around there and I go, wait a minute, that's the name of the group.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's
so you've
right.
got 2 acts.
So we've got 2 acts. We've got actually more than 2 acts.
I'm sure.
but
Yeah,
2
locals. You have
main
some locals.
acts, and then local. And we're still looking for acts of, young people particularly.
Give them
who
a
like
platform to perform, is that?
that. Right.
That's
Yeah.
what we try to do. And as a matter of fact, the group Restored is a gospel group.
Oh, it is, okay.
Yes, and they're going to give us an hour of entertainment.
Oh,
of
nice,
gospel.
nice. And are they local or do they come in?
Yes, they're local.
Oh,
Albany.
Yes, they
Isn't
are
that
lo-
funny?
Well, some live in Schenectady, some live in Albany.
they're local.
Some are in a church
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Albany. So, yeah, they're local, Tri-City area guys. We are actually trying to stay local.
Yeah.
It's,
Well, it gives them a platform to.
we have so much.
We're
we have
rich.
so many people that need to be and should be on the stage from our area. So why go out and spend money for people to come
Exactly.
to us when we
And this is
have
a
it?
celebration. Let's just, I mean, you're in Central Park, beautiful park. You've got your vendors, and I've been to your events, and they're wonderful. They're just very exciting because you have a lot of vendors and you have things going on and food, and you have it all. Betty, I want to thank you because we're going to get Walter to sit here in your seat, and we're going to be talking about what's
Yes.
going on Friday night.
That's
Yeah.
right,
But
that's
thank you for
right.
being here, Betty.
Thank you for
Always a
having
pleasure to
me.
have you on the
Thank
show.
you.
And Mickey, we're talking about, Walter's going to be sitting down with us, but you've got, it's not just a celebration of the like a party. We pay homage at Vale Cemetery,
Yes.
and Walter's going to be joining us to tell us about that. When exactly does that happen?
It happens on the Friday, the 18th this year.
And Walter's
And-
with us right here. Hi,
Yes,
Walter.
how
Good
are
to
you?
see you. It's always
Okay.
good to see you on the show.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And it's, as you say, at Vale Cemetery, it's from 6 to 8 p.m.
And you always have an ice cream social after.
Always have ice cream social
Yeah.
afterwards, yes.
So tell me, Walter, you are a bit of a historian, is that right?
Well, yes, I like to keep up with the culture and the history of especially the African American.
And this is at Vale Cemetery.
Yes, yes. And, Vale Cemetery was formerly where we have the African American burial ground.
See, I had no idea about that until about 8 or 9 years ago when
Yes.
I think you gave a presentation. I'm going, I had no clue.
Yes,
And I
yes.
grew up here.
Well, and it used to be called the old colored plot.
Oh, we
And
don't do
so
that
we-
anymore.
Well, it was still named that until we
Okay.
decided to change it. And we did that with youth from the community, and we went in and restored it. And now it's a site on the Underground Railroad Trail.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah. Much
yes.
better.
Oh, yes. And also, too, it gives recognition and importance to what it is. Because before, it was very overlooked spot. And so people don't always know that they have so much history right there.
Right.
And what they can learn about themselves based upon the history that they have access to. So this makes a wonderful event to kick off Juneteenth celebration.
And you do that like on Friday night? And then
Yes, yes.
Saturday, you have your big celebration.
Right.
But I found it to be very touching because I was there. And the music and you give a monologue.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
tell me about that.
Well, I give a monologue with, on Moses Viney.
Yeah.
And so what I try to do is, Moses Viney was a runaway slave from Maryland who came to Schenectady and began working with the Lafayette Knott, the president of Union College.
Oh, okay.
And he was his right-hand man and carriage driver. And when Knott died, Knott left him $1,000 in a carriage.
That was a lot of money. then.
Oh,
That was
big,
like
big
a-
time money,
Big.
big time. And he went out and bought 3 more carriages and started a livery service. And if you were driven by Moses Viney, you had reached the top of Schenectadian society. And that is very important. And also, too, it is very so important for the community to understand what we really have here. You can't know what you don't know. And when you start to realize that you have a history of people who are here and made a difference. We have a gentleman that was in the Civil War, Jared Jackson, that is buried there. We have another woman by the name of Margaret Robinson, and she died at 103 years old, and she was here during the American Revolution. And so sometimes...
And they're all buried.
All buried right here.
I'll be darned.
And so what we're trying to do is give our community the understanding of the longevity that they've had in Schenectady itself.
Has anybody ever written a book about this?
Well,
or-
some people have written parts of it.
Yeah.
Neil Yetlin, which was a teacher at Schenectady High School, he was the one that began the research.
Okay.
And so, now still we're doing more
And we're
research.
passing it down?
Yes.
And I'm sure that Chris Hunter can probably contribute something to it as well.
Well, what we're doing now, and in fact, the Historical Society is now working on African-American history so that it can be logged, cataloged,
Yeah.
and preserved.
Very important.
here. Yes,
Very
yes, it
important
is.
that we do this, yeah. So you must be excited about this event coming up, Mickey, and knowing
Well, I
that,
started counting, and this is our 21st year
I know.
of presenting Juneteenth in Schenectady.
isn't it amazing that,
Yes.
I mean, that it's,
Yeah.
you said 23 years and I'm doing my.
21,
Oh,
yeah.
21, okay,
Yeah.
and I've been doing this show 23 years. See, so
Yeah,
we're kind of
right.
like right on the same
Exactly.
wavelength here.
Yes.
And this,
I'm sorry, if I could just say something
Sure.
about Mickey, because Mickey has been the person who has preserved the culture in our community and actually in the Capital District, because we were the first
Oh,
community
yeah.
to start the Juneteenth celebration.
Really, in New York or what?
In the Capital District.
In the Capital District.
In the Capital District. And because of it, other cities
Are
now
picking up on
have
it.
their own.
And we're going to make this a national holiday?
yeah,
Yes,
we're on our
yes,
way.
You're on our
Yes.
way. You said all but 2
Yeah,
states,
two
right?
states left, yeah.
So this is why these things that we're doing and instituting is important, and especially for the 21st century.
Mm-hmm.
We have the children now who will be the mothers and fathers of the 21st century.
Right.
And it is so important that we let them understand who they are and what they've already been contributing to the city itself.
Yeah, really. The culture is important.
Yes.
Walter, thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on the 18th. and here we-
I'm looking forward to
Yeah,
seeing
and
you
even, I
there.
might even have a little ice cream afterwards. Who
Well,
knows?
come enjoy it.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
And Mickey, I know that you've got a great event coming up, and your plans are always spot on to get people out there, and it's for everyone,
It's for
correct?
everyone.
Everyone. Don't, just
That's
come
right.
out and celebrate the end of slavery or the freedom. I mean,
That's
because
right.
that's when, and I was surprised how long it happened. I thought it happened, but
Yeah.
it didn't. Always,
Right.
just down the
Right.
line. Thank you so much for being here, and good luck with all your books.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah. And now, look who's here.
Hello, Ann.
Madeline, it's so good to see you. Madeline Thorne, she is the executive director of Habitat for Humanity, and she's doing the Jamboree.
We're doing a jamboree.
Can't wait, I got my ticket.
Thank you, yes, you did, and thank you for that. So, Ann, here's the genesis of our jamboree, Schenectady Habitat's Jamboree, which is our fundraiser coming up on June 10th at Rivers Casino and Resort. About 8 or 10 weeks ago, I was getting ready to go to work, and I was getting dressed, and I had some music on, and I just started dancing. I
And you
started
just did
dancing.
it.
And I said,
Why not?
We need joy again. We
do.
need to have fun. It's been a tough year on all of us. And went into work, banged around some ideas, and we came up with our team at Schenectady.
I love the
Habitat.
name Jamboree.
Jamboree, because we're going to jam
So why
it.
did you,
We're
were you jamming? Are you jamming?
We're jamming.
Okay, and who's
Yes.
jamming with you?
Well, we're going to be jamming with DJ Ketchup is going to be there providing music, so we
Okay.
know he knows how to get everybody up and dancing.
Absolutely.
Our good friend Jack Arnicky is coming back.
I love Jack,
We
yeah.
love Jack. We'll be highlighting some of our projects. We'll be talking about some of our wonderful supporters that have Habitat get to the point where we're on our 60th house in Schenectady.
You're not, are you building right now?
Oh, we never stopped. We never stopped.
never stopped.
The governor did have an exemption for affordable housing.
Okay.
So Schenectady Habitat fell into that category.
Okay, great.
And we have this, I cannot even find the words to talk about our core volunteers.
Amazing,
who
aren't they?
Kept going through the whole pandemic. We had to be safe, we had to wear masks, we had to clean our tools all the time. It was complicated, but they kept the houses.
They kept doing.
Because if there was ever a time that truly showed how having your own space and being able to control your own space was critical, it was everything we experienced through this pandemic. So we're coming out the other side of it. Let's celebrate, let's have some joy.
So you're gonna have some fun, but not only are we gonna hear music and everything, I was amazed at
Hello.
the photographs, and I'm
Yes.
hoping that Raymond can bring those up. We have photographs of repurposed, and I love that. So let's talk
Yes.
about some of that. It's up there on the screen.
So our development director, Barb Bishop Ward, who is incredibly creative herself, thought this was a great idea, and I absolutely agree with her.
So now there's a board, right?
Yep,
And you-
those are our cornhole tossing boards or beanbag toss, and painted by local artists. And these are pieces of furniture people found. Artists came in, 16 artists, Ann.
Oh,
Came
16.
into our restore, found pieces of furniture, brought them home, and then reconfigured, reimagined. I mean, that
And they're
cheese
gonna be
board
offered-
is a light fixture.
Yeah, I see that.
And they're going to be available for sale, for auction at the Jamboree on June 10th.
How exciting that's gonna be.
So, I look at a chair, I see a chair.
I know.
These people
I
look
know.
and they just see things I don't see, and I'm so grateful for them to share their time and their talents
yeah.
to help Habitat continue its mission. It's, it's community helping community, art helping community. What could be?
And who is the poster child with Jimmy Carter?
Jimmy Carter, yes.
My-
I got to be in a room with he and Roz. Now, with Roz, I call her Roz.
Well, yeah, you can be a little personal.
I mean, admittedly, with 2,500 other
It
Habitarians.
doesn't make any difference.
But even in that room, you could feel their love. You could feel their dedication to home ownership. They know what it means when somebody is able to have their own
And
space.
think about the President of the United States, and there he
Yeah.
is with his little hammer, making sure that,
Yes,
and I mean,
yes.
and he's in his, he's 90 or
He's in his 90s, and he has some health issues now,
I
but
know.
every now and then, he and the First Lady will still come out and visit a Habitat site and give us their wonderful support and keep the message
Isn't that
flowing.
amazing?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, the
Yeah.
image that we see of a man who's dedicated, and a man and a woman who are both
Yeah.
dedicated to do this. Do you still have your restore?
We, of course, and Restore was shut down for a while, but we are open now.
Do you have one at the mall? You had one?
No, that, we had to pull back.
Okay,
and
because I thought
pull
because of
some
the,
efficiencies,
because
yeah,
of the
yeah.
pandemic and stuff.
So we are at 115 North Broadway. One of the benefits of Restore that a lot of people don't think about, of course, is we have, great donations, sell the furniture at a very affordable price. That supports our mission. All of that is critical. But think again, all of the stuff that is resold through our Restore doesn't go into a landfill.
I know, that's the amazing
yeah,
thing, is
yeah.
that we have to think in terms of not putting, repurposing.
Repurposing.
And
Like these
I've
artists
just
did.
I repurpose everything. It's like, I can't throw things out. It's, I look at it and say, wait a minute, I could make, I can do that with it,
Yeah, yeah, and so the
And I figure my
Jamboree's-
kids can throw it out when I'm
When
gone.
they're gone, that's their problem. So I'm really excited to bring the Jamboree to Schenectady. I'm really excited to have an in-person
Can
event.
they still get tickets?
Tickets are available at Schenectady.
Can they buy them at the door, or should they do them ahead of time?
We would prefer to do them ahead of time.
Is there gonna
because
be food? In
because
other words, okay,
Rivers
so-
Casino amazing
They've
sponsor.
done, I've
So
been
generous.
I've been to events there.
Yes, so food will be available. The venue is being provided by Rivers Casino and Resort. They're a great,
Their
great partner to us.
convention room, yeah.
And then, of course, we have fabulous support from the brothers and sisters of IUE-CWA, a local union.
Okay.
And they're helping us fund this also, as well as fund our vet build. So many people come together to make Habitat work, and I am incredibly grateful that we're able to enjoy all of this support, that people understand what we're trying to do.
You have a wonderful mission, and I guess what I'd like to say to people is, what do you look for when you look for donations? I mean, what do you look, do you want a refrigerator? What do you want?
We want any good resellable piece of furniture or appliances. It needs to be in good shape. We can't take things that are stained or torn. It's not,
Unless they want to paint them.
well, if they can save them, and working appliances, clean working appliances. We do move a lot of material through our restore, but it is important that somebody's going to want to buy it.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
We don't take things that aren't
No,
appropriate.
because
Right.
I know you have a display window and you put,
Right.
sometimes I walk by there and I think I'm looking at, one of the big department stores.
Oh, and, people are so generous. They're redoing and in this year, by the way, because people were home, they were doing a lot of redecorating.
Yeah.
So we did have a very nice flow of high-quality, really beautiful furnishings and
Yeah, I've
appliances.
always, we've
lighting,
done,
artwork.
in the past,
Yeah.
I've done shopping there and I know that you
I
can
know
just
you have.
find the perfect thing that you're looking for.
Yes.
It's like-
And now, you go to the Jam and you're going to see some of those furnishings reconfigured, rethought of.
Yeah.
So.
I love the idea of redoing furniture and things. I mean, years ago, everything was in limed oak. I don't remember
Yes.
and everybody hates that now, so they paint it,
Yeah.
and it looks perfect. I mean, it's so, think outside the box. Don't think about dumping if you can
If you can repurpose
repurpose it,
right.
or if you really want to replace it, donate it to Habitat for Humanity.
Correct, please do.
Yeah.
And it's so important, again, when
You
people.
must have a pretty big turnover.
We do.
Of
It's almost like every week. You have to go every week to see what came in and what has gone
What
out.
out.
People deliver, we pick up once a week, but now, of course, with COVID,
Yeah.
we can't go into people's houses, and I don't see that changing anytime soon.
You can
because
take it
don't
out of
know-
their garage if it's in their garage.
Correct.
Okay.
We just don't know who's vaccinated and who's not.
I don't blame you.
vaccinated.
I mean,
Right.
here, when we do our show, if you've been vaccinated
Right.
twice, unless
Right.
it's a J&J.
Correct.
Then, you can sit here without your mask on. So we try and do that. I want to thank you so much for being, and I'm looking forward to being
Thank
at the
you.
Jamboree and enjoying.
And may I say to you, you were our honorary chair at our bash a few years ago.
That was so much fun.
Thank you for doing that, and thank you for your continued support
Oh, my
of our
gosh, yeah,
mission.
and you can do the Hammerschlagen or whatever.
Well, we got more stuff for you this year.
Oh,
Come on.
I can't wait.
Come on, do some dancing.
I love to dance.
Okay.
That's about all I can do there. I want to thank you so much for being here. I'm
Thank
just
you.
going to tell who's coming on. Next week, we're going to have Jazz on Jay. We're going to find out about their great lineup of wonderful acts that are coming up. We also have a musician on. She's just released an album, Carmen Lakshar, and she's brought her guitarist with us, so I think they may be performing for us. We're going to talk about the Final Exit Network, which is kind of a way to plan your final exit and how you want to do that. And then we're going to be talking about the American Italian Heritage Museum and what they're doing, because now they're opening up, they're having some classes now. And then we're going to find out all about a place that's never been on the show before, the Schoharie River Center, and I'm so anxious to learn about that. So please stay tuned, watch the next show. We're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're all over the place, but please join us again. We love meeting with you, even if it's virtual like this. I'm Ann Pearl, your host, producer of Capital Region Today, and I want to thank my crew here at Proctors. Thank you.